theme tune? It's a quote from Hi everybody. Hello. We're all live now. It's a quote from
Hello.
oh my god.
Animaniacs or something?
No. It's with David Walliams. Somebody talked to me about this British show.
Team
and it's
tune?
like, I want to sing the theme tune and write the theme tune.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I
Oh my freaking god. How did I just miss that? It was on the tip of my tongue.
We've lost Pagan. She's gone wacko.
Those Irish, they always
Somebody.
before
Little
you
Britain.
anymore.
Thank you, Maria. Little Britain.
Britain.
It's a quote from Little Britain. He's like, I'd like to sing the theme tune and write the theme tune.
Stephanie, she just called you Maria.
Oh, Maria.
Oh, no,
oh,
I read
Steph,
the
did you
chat.
say
I
that?
read
Oh,
the
okay.
chat.
Oh, you read the
I read the
chat.
chat.
I see, thanks.
So
Look at you trying to take credit for Maria's work. How dare you, Steph? Take a step.
Who, me?
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
That's funny.
We're just talking about That's awesome.
Yeah, no, yeah. She was like, team tune. I'm like, she's slurring. She's clearly had a stroke.
I
but
no
apparently
doubt
it's-
actually was like, there's a bottle of vodka right next to where I was making tea, and I was like, this could be an
Just a
interesting,
little-
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You got to make it through the day somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trailer talk. We today, segue, Resident Evil. It's back, and it doesn't have Milla Jovovich, so I'm a little sad. Because I like her ever since Fifth Element. I have a man crush. But this is like the reboot, the remake, the reimagining, whatever you want to call it. This is like what fans have been clamoring for because the other movies have nothing to do with the games, but maybe in random characters and somewhat themes and names. They're like Umbrella, and now it's a Resident Evil movie. But so I guess this is like they're working hand to hand with Capcom. From what I've read on this, they're bringing this. I've only seen the trailer once, so I'm excited to watch it one more time. But this does seem like it's going back to like the OG kind of. This is what the games are. We're telling the game like what the game stories were, and staying true to that. Do you guys have any thoughts? Have you guys seen this trailer yet, or thoughts on the Resident Evil franchise in general?
Is this something that we didn't know we wanted?
Is it?
I'm like a little bit like.
That's a good question. That is a good question,
Yeah.
Joe.
I played the game once,
Twice,
yeah, maybe.
3
I
times.
watched the very first movie. Though it just never got me. You know what it is? I don't like zombies. I don't care for zombies. Like I've never watched Walking Dead. I'm like, seriously? The only zombie movie that's any good is more of a spoof. No. Fuck. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead?
Shaun of the Dead.
Such
That's
a
the only
great
zombie movie I've ever
Yeah,
liked.
it's one of the
Good.
best zombie movies there is, actually, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So
for
smart.
Sure.
Right, because all the stuff, it's just like, well, run faster.
Yeah.
Just get that. And then the people are like, okay, enough with that. And they go, our zombies run fast.
Yeah,
And they're
exactly.
zombies that run fast.
Snyder brought the fast-running zombies.
I believe so, yeah. And Dawn of
Yeah,
the
so
Dead.
I don't know. I'm not. I'm in that. I'm probably not going to watch this. So let's see if this trailer can change my mind.
Oh, nice.
I doubt it.
Spicy.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Said the man who watched it. I doubt it.
Stephanie, are you a big fan of the Resident Evil like films or games, or how are you coming at this?
No, I mean, I'm kind of tailgating off of PJ. I mean, I'm not a big, scary creature jumping out at me, trying to eat me type person. I've watched The Walking Dead, and, I have to take breaks because
Oh, okay.
it
Like,
gets
it's
too
intense.
scary.
It's
It
intense.
gets
yeah.
too scary. And I'm like, this is a little much.
Yeah.
How are zombie movies scary though? It's just like because you weren't paying attention, you walked around a corner and there was a zombie, or it's
Yeah.
just the imminent idea of getting eaten.
Well,
I mean, I
I
think
think
in a
it's the
zombie
imminent
apocalypse, it would be
idea.
really easy to survive. You're just like,
Well,
oops, sorry. How do you wait? Oops, sorry.
Well, yeah.
Not
I
unless
guess
they're like
other
Day of the
things?
Dead, like, or Dawn of the
Yeah.
Dead zombies
I would be
where
the
they will
person that
literally just
accidentally-
clock you and run. So,
Well, that's like The Walking Dead's
terrifying.
like premise is the
Is that
whole
it?
idea.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not the zombies that kill you; it's the other people. Like it's
Yeah.
like in an apocalypse, it's not the zombies you need to be afraid of. Really, it's the terrible people that survive. Because usually the people that survive an apocalypse aren't the people that you want to have as your neighbor. Like
Oh, fair.
they're-
Yeah.
Kind of
You
feels
know-
like the
Have
last
learned that.
election.
I thought you were going to say The Last of Us, and I was like, yeah, kind of.
yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, that tracks.
Pagan, I mean, you have you played these games? Or are you a big Resident Evil fan?
No, I've not played the games. I've played the only Resident Evil game that I've cleared or played at all is really Resident Evil Village. So the most recent one. So it has nothing to do with any of this. But I do know about the Resident Evil series. Like, Adam's a big fan of them, and my friends are big fans of them. So I know about them. I've seen little clips of them here and there. I know, like, the loading screen when you're opening the door. I know all that kind of stuff. I did, obviously, research these two games, the first one and the second one, to sort of get more of a better understanding of what they are. And I have watched all of the Milla Jovovich films. I actually binge-watched them, and then I started having nightmares about zombies. So I was like, I should stop.
No.
Oh, sorry. And Sharu, I did actually play Resident Evil 7. You're right. I played Resident Evil 7 and 8. So I don't actually know much about the originals. I know that 4 is probably the most popular one. 2 and 4 are the most popular ones. But other than that, zip. I got nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm similar. Like, I'm a fan. Like, I've played the original 2 games, like when they came out, like the original games, and then I played the RE2 remake, which is actually solid. It's a solid game, as a remake. And then I've seen actually all of the Milla Jovovich movies as well. And listen, they're terrible, but they're also just mindless Sunday afternoon movies that are fun to watch.
You don't have to think too hard about them, for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to think too hard.
Yeah.
And they're just somewhat entertaining, bad, like B movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're kind of like, I can kind of just veg out and mindlessly watch this. So they're fun for what they are. I don't really think they really did much to drive the Resident Evil, like, as a franchise. Like, it doesn't feel like the games. So I get why people hate them as fans of Resident Evil. Like, why put Resident Evil name on these films? They could have been called anything.
Agreed.
But I guess I am excited that they're rebooting it. So I guess let's watch this trailer. And
let's hope the trailer's not as boring as this conversation is.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
When he's not talking,
brain, like, I mean, it's just his inner producer, you know, and like he can't help it. He's like, moving along,
voice
folks.
He can put children to sleep now. He's really good at it.
Only PJ, just PJ. He just hates my voice so much.
Yeah, true.
There's something going on there.
Does he often like turn off his cameras and
I'm
Zoom
just gonna record you and use you as white noise.
You should, when I start talking, just hit the mute button, dude. Like, on your headphones. That's all you got to do.
Okay, let's play.
All right. Let's watch the trailer. Okay, I'm gonna hit play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Come on.
Ooh, November 24th is pretty soon as well, isn't it? Like, it's just that kind of came out of nowhere for me.
She's on the bike.
Discover the origin of evil.
Oh, 1998. So it's like a period
Your
piece.
conspiracies weren't true when we were kids.
Which I
Not
like.
true now.
Yeah. Well, the old games took place there. Like, they were supposed to take place there.
The first part of the trailer kind of annoyed me because Chris Redfield's lines doesn't match his mouth.
Umbrella, they
I
have
don't know if anybody else noticed that.
I'm talking
Yeah.
Chernobyl, if you know what I mean. People are getting sick.
Oh, what?
Okay. Straight. That's like
First
literally
good shot.
straight out of the
Out
game.
of the game,
Zombie dogs. They're
yeah.
gonna get
That's
you.
out of the game too. This seems very, very
We have to
close.
contain this.
I like the song.
Shall we go?
Leon looks awesome.
Yeah. Oh, the mansion. They put the mansion in here. Okay. Oh.
Oh, that's never a good sign.
No.
This is where there's
yeah. That's promising.
Yeah.
Split up.
Cute.
No, you never split up. No. Why would you say
Haven't
that?
you
It's a
seen
rule of
horror
the
movies?
Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Never split up.
Oh, that's like straight out of the game. That's straight out of the RE2. Yeah, the helicopter. Oh.
Doc, you okay?
That looked like Nosferatu or something.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Itchy tasty.
Are you serious? They were riding on the... Really? How do fans feel with this?
Fear. Zombie
No.
dogs.
We're gonna
Is
take Umbrella down.
contagious.
Ooh, okay, a tyrant. Planet
the
Liquor.
Yeah. That's actually the liquor actually looked really good.
The liquor looks pretty accurate from like from old school graphics.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? As much as it could be.
Yeah.
I think the opening where she goes, "Come on," is like if somebody was making a trailer. Like people are just going to go, "Why should we watch this?" Just start with, "Come on, give it a try. Come on,
do it."
It'll be fun.
I don't know. There was a lot of pedestrian choices of shots in there that were I'm a little bit like really. In the very beginning there was some really good shots down the road. I would have cut that trailer completely different. I think the trailer, I think the way they laid the trailer out made it look, I don't know if they were trying to do an homage to old movies or something, but it was just way too expositional, like seen there, been it, done that. Too early in the trailer for me. All the good stuff that came, I was like, "Ooh, that's cool. Oh, I want to see that girl in white. Like, I want to see how that happens." But the setup sucked. The setup made me want to turn the trailer off.
Well, I mean, just to piggyback off that, the setup to the games isn't really that great either. It's basically, and it's through the sort of like the lore of the game, the world building of the other games that you learn more about the Umbrella Corp and how this all began. That makes it interesting. But literally, the opening of the games is like, I showed up and bad things are happening, and let's do this. Let's kick some zombie ass. I mean, that's literally like basically and it looks like this is basically taking up exactly how the games start. It's like people show up, Claire shows up looking for her brother.
Stark Evilfish says there's an international trailer where the director cut it more like John Carpenter. I'd want to see that.
I can get it up if you really want to see it.
Get that shit up.
All right.
Get it up.
We're not international people.
I love me some John Carpenter.
Hey, fuck you.
We're all about the U.S. of A.
You're from Kentucky. That's another country now, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we've annexed ourselves from the U.S.
We've been trying really hard. Just take McConnell
Kentucky,
and the whole gang and just be gone.
Totally. Yeah, just be gone. Just lump us all in with, like we're all one people.
Yeah.
No. Thanks.
Just take a piece of the deficit and away you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
you and the Canadians.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Should we each pull that up?
You can if you like. I can link it to you in the chat.
Oh yeah, do that because I don't have it pulled up. Link it to me.
I have linked it to you.
Yes, the linkage.
Oh no! Get out of here, Chucky.
That didn't sound great. What was that?
Like Chucky.
No.
It's Chucky. Get out of here.
Oh no.
Where's Chucky?
No, oh my God! I saw the press packs for that. Just on that note, they saw the press packs for that, and they actually sent out Chucky dolls.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I want to say the international trailer is better.
All right, let's go. I'll do it.
All right. We can watch the international trailer back to back. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Go. Well, maybe we can compare the two trailers.
Count us down. Tell us when.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I got to adjust the screens so that it makes sense. All right. This better be much better, Scott and Dan, for recommending this so heavily. Okay.
Like, if this is a waste of my time, I swear I will hunt you down.
2 minutes?
I swear to God.
Come on, count this shit down. Let's go.
All right.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1, play.
What are you doing out hitchhiking on a night like this anyway?
Oh.
Live here, you said.
Rides her bike into this thing.
Raccoon
I like how they
City.
set the dog up.
Better you than me.
Watch out!
Come on, that's good. I love the screech and the scream together.
Oh my God. That was class. Oh, this is how the doggy gets
there goes the
infected.
dog. Oh, that was good. That's good.
Doggy, no.
All right, Dan and Scott.
Honey, we need to go now.
Lock the gates. Claire, why are you back here?
This whole town's been poisoned. If we don't contain this, it could threaten the whole world.
Shall we go?
Come on.
What the
What were Umbrella doing here?
They were experimenting on him.
This is my life's work.
Oh, wow.
I'm not giving it to anybody.
Listen, if Neil McDonough is in a movie, I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, that's great.
That's fair. That's fair.
Vickers, this is Cheap Irons. Pick up your damn radio.
just really want to get out of this town.
Oh, what is that?
See, it definitely looks like a tyrant to me, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's not gonna die.
Nope.
All right. To be fair,
Okay,
was better cut
Was it
trailer.
better?
That was a better
That
trailer,
was a
but
better
the
trailer.
first trailer ends. The first trailer builds better. This trailer kind of just hits the ceiling and stays there.
I like
But it's
the
a better
music.
trailer.
That's fair.
You
I
like the music in the first trailer.
In the first trailer,
Yeah,
and
I
I
agree.
think the editing was a little bit. I don't know. It's more exciting. This one, I agree, sets up a better atmosphere. Like it's a more of a scary movie trailer, where the first trailer we watched, the U.S. trailer, I guess we call it, is I don't know. I guess a more exciting, or like it's more intriguing. Like it just shows you a bunch of stuff, and it doesn't really like connect everything together as well as this. This felt more linear. The international trailer felt more linear.
I think.
Yeah.
I think the first
What
trailer
is this
feels like
movie?
a...
The Black Phone. Sorry, I just started watching another trailer.
How dare you, sir? We're on this trailer. We just watched
That
two of
fucking
these.
looks good. It just started playing. I mean, it's like I guess I got autoplay set up. Sorry,
Yeah,
Steph.
yeah,
I
Yeah, let's
interrupted
do
you.
next one. Yeah.
Stay on
Save
target,
that
Red
shit.
4.
It's a double header.
Yeah. Up next on Trailer Talk.
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know. I'll give my first initial thought is it kind of looks terrible. Like the CGI doesn't look that great. The liquor looks actually solid, but when you see
What's
the
the liquor? Is that the big white?
that's
No,
the
I
one
know
with
the
the
little
like
brain exposed guy with
It's
the
the
long
one-
tongue, and he kind of drops down from the
Oh,
ceiling.
okay.
yeah, and the teeth, and then you see William Birkin ends up. Spoiler alert! If you're not a Resident
How
Evil,
dare
but
you?
William
Oh my
Birkin
God! Turn
ends
away
up-
right now.
He ends up turning into I forget what they call it, but the guys, the giant thing with the eyeballs.
See,
all
I
over,
thought
and
that was
you have to
called a
shoot-
tyrant. Scott
Is
seemed,
it
or
called a tyrant?
Dan, I think, corrected me and said maybe it's a hunter.
No,
I don't know,
like
but
in
then
Resident
it's
Evil
only rumored
2
that he's going to turn into that. So
Yeah, well, in the game, Birkin turns into the eyeball guy, the giant
Yeah.
guy with the eyeballs, and you have to
Oh,
shoot the eyeballs, and he's like super strong, and
Look
you
at that.
got to take out all the eyeballs to take
Wasn't
them out.
that in the game?
Anyway, that looked terrible. Like the CG on that looked awful, and then like the fire explosion stuff looked not great either. So I'm a little like I don't know. I'm on the fence on this. Like I'm interested because they're retelling the game. But I'm also kind of like this also feels like it's falling into another bad video game movie like trope. Like it just doesn't feel like
Sure.
it has the production value and or the story chops to really change my mind on why this should have been made into a movie. It's already a great video game. Why do
Sure.
I need the same story to be told to me in a movie format that's probably not going to be as good? So
Why
I'm a
wouldn't they
little
go for a TV series? I mean, with Walking
Yeah.
Dead, why wouldn't they do that? Like, you could just spend more time with it. You could go more into characters. You could go more into Umbrella. Like, I think it's more ripe for a TV series.
I agree. I think Netflix is working on a TV series on I don't know how it takes place in what universe or if it ties into this, but I believe they are doing a live action Resident Evil TV series. So maybe that'll be good.
yeah.
They're just doing everything.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
have heard comments though that people are like kind of okay with this movie because they're saying like it's kind of that B movie feel that Resident Evil games had anyway. This kind of like cliche stuff that they were like, oh, this is going to be great. This is exactly what we needed because the game is campy as well. So might as well just give some more campy zombie stuff.
Yeah.
That's like
That's
the
true.
response on Twitter. It seems to be like that. So I think fans could probably be on the fence about this one. Either they're really hardcore into the story and they're like, no, I really want an accurate description, or they're just along for the ride and they're like, yeah, give me some main story characters, some main story locations, and fuck some shit up with some zombies. You know.
Since COVID and us having to watch through the third set of Seinfeld episodes from start to finish again, we're looking for anything that's new. I think you could put anything out there, and like I got friends talking to me and goes, "I'm watching Cheers again." I'm like, "Why?"
I'm
Jesus
watching
Christ,
for the
don't
last
just-
few years
Every
again.
time you see a new movie, like my family
Yeah.
cheers when they see something new come up on the screen.
That's
It's
true. Yeah, we are in like epic binge world. Like, like why isn't there 700 episodes of Squid Game? I would watch all of it.
like by Thursday.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
Steph,
gosh.
what do you think? What's your initial thoughts on this? Like, are you like, I would
mean-
watch this, or you're like, hell no?
The first trailer, I was like, I'm not sure about that. The international trailer definitely made me want to watch it. Because the first one, it kind of reminded me of, like, a teen movie. Like, it just didn't feel, I don't know,
Good.
like, all that interesting. It didn't feel good. It was, like, definitely, like, a B movie. Just not, like, I love, was it Robbie Amell?
Yes.
I love him.
Oh yeah.
But every movie that I've seen him in has been, like, a B movie. Like, no offense to him. Like, he's a great actor. Like, it's just, like, some of the horror movies that I've seen, like, there's certain I guess it's more of, like, tropes for characters. Like, that they cast certain actors for certain things. And so for me, at first, I was like, I really hope that this is, like, a better movie for him rather than...
Yeah.
But,
Sure.
But then again, like, I don't know, like, stylistically, like, the second one, like, for me, being new to the whole universe, quote unquote, like, I've seen, us play the games and stuff like that, so I know about it. But, like, to see the dogs get infected, to see certain things happen, and you're kind of like, oh, it gives me a little bit more of, like, reason to want to see this, or to, like, feel sorry for certain characters, where, like, in the first one, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like, do I need to feel for them? Do I need to feel for those dogs? Were those dogs already like that? And then...
Yeah. Where the second
Now
trailer,
this-
you see the dog licking the blood, and you're like, "Oh, I feel
Yeah.
for that. I don't want that to happen." Yeah, you get a little bit
No.
more. There are more stakes.
Would you call this a B movie? I mean, this is a $1 billion franchise
but
with
it has
a
a B
huge
I
movie
wouldn't.
game.
feel.
It has a B movie feel. but I
That was
wouldn't
kind
call
of
it
like the
B
comments
movie.
that I'd seen on Twitter. I should probably clarify. Like the fan base on Twitter
Yeah.
were just like, this is like a campy B movie feel, and I'm here for it. And I'm like, oh.
And I don't know if this was even made for us. When you think about the last two pictures, they made, they were around 40 and 65 million each. Okay openings, domestic box office didn't even cover half of their budget, but worldwide they made like $300,000 and 300 million and 240 million. And the one before that made 300 million. So these are made for not us, I wonder, in on the business side of it.
Yeah,
My
I mean,
God, they make a lot
Resident
of money.
Evil is
for
a
it.
global franchise, right? I mean,
Yeah.
video games sell to not just the U.S. audience, and Resident Evil does well internationally. So I would imagine they are.
Every single movie's made
banking on-
over 100 million, and 3 of them have made over 200. One of them made over 300.
Yeah.
That's some
Jeez.
cash.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think they were the highest grossing video game franchise, movie
Really?
wise. Yeah. But then I feel like that's probably not that hard. I don't know. There's other video games that have had 6 movies so far, plus now a TV show, plus now, something else. So it's probably, well, you're kind of the only one doing it. Like
Number
until
one
Uncharted comes
worldwide
out or something.
franchise. What is it? Number one worldwide franchise.
There we go.
What is
Well,
it?
it's going to be Chris Pratt's Mario. Duh.
You know what it is? It's Pokemon.
What?
Pokemon!
Oh, yes. Yes. Pokemon?
I am case in point of that, aren't I? Like, I'm just like, case in point.
Shoot me now. Pokemon is the largest franchise in the planet. Is that what you
Yep.
just said?
The largest one.
fucking
And there's one in the
human.
top
No.
10 I never even heard
Bigger
of.
than Marvel and Disney? Or
Bigger
Star
than
Wars?
Star Wars, bigger than Marvel, bigger than the Disney princesses combined. It's bigger than the Disney princesses combined.
You're reading
Wow.
fake news.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
Drew can't take it that it's yeah, that's the thing.
Pokemon,
I don't agree with
they
that.
made
That's
like one
fake
movie.
news. Said the guy from Kentucky.
They made like one movie. How could it be like the largest? Like with
They're counting cartoons and product and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
I was shocked.
That
I
doesn't
was
make any
shocked.
sense.
Star Wars isn't even number 2 or 3. I think it's number 4.
Wow, really?
I don't know if the math doesn't work there. I'm gonna have to. I'm
Pretty
gonna
crazy.
I'm gonna do my own research. It's gonna be called Drew's Research, and Star Wars wins every time. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Paid
Don't
for
buy.
by.
I think it is interesting though. Like, I mean, we did. The director did actually have an interview with IGN, and he said that he was kind of going for more of like a grimy, dark vibe with this one, other than the previous films, which were kind of brightly lit action films. I think in the second trailer, I feel more of that. In the first trailer, I was kind of like, you know, like this seems pretty much on the same vein as the first couple of movies, but then the second trailer I can see what he's talking about now. This kind of like, he said he was influenced by The Exorcist, Don't Look Now, The Shining. I feel more of that in the second international trailer than I do in the first.
Yeah, like the director is going for more of like a 70s horror film vibe, right? Is that kind of what you're saying? Like he's sort of when you especially when you see that one shot of like the zombie eating that and that slow kind of turn, you know, that's very like you know, it's not necessarily supposed to be like jump scare, but just like atmosphere, like what you're seeing is like terrifying. Kind of like when The Exorcist, when the head spins around, or you see that that chick like go down the stairs on her hands, like
like
the
Which
crab
I also
crawl,
feel
you know,
like,
like
oh, well, I was gonna say Resident Evil 7 kind of did that with like Mia coming up the stairs, like crawling and freaked the fuck out of me. But
yeah, well,
yeah.
Resident Evil's always had
It's always
those
kind of had that
really
vibe,
cool
yeah.
like freak out moments. You're like, oh shit, I've never seen that before, and that's kind of what made the games I always thought like interesting, where you see something like just totally like I've never seen that before in horror or a game. And so they've always kind of like broken grounds, like especially with like the liquor and stuff like that, where like you just see this gnarly thing just eating people, and it's like up on a wall or on the ceiling, and you're like, oh my god, that is terrifying. So I think if they keep in that vein where it's like, you know, they're showing us stuff that's new, but I don't know. Again, the trailer didn't really show me anything that I felt like I'd never seen before in another movie before, another like movie like this. So I guess, and I guess I'm okay with them paying homage to the game by showing like literally like there are shots that look like they're taking directly out of the video game. Like it's literally like frame by frame. This is what the video game cutscene looked like. This is the movie cutscene. So
yeah,
I'm kind of okay with that to a point, but there's so many even in the trailer that I'm kind of like, am I just literally watching the cutscenes from
Resident Evil 1
game?
and 2 combined.
Yeah, and it is like and to that point they're combining the mansion from RE1 and the police station like setup from RE2, and they're kind of, and the characters too, right, from both of those films. So that's a lot of story to tell, and a lot of character development to bring forth in one probably 90-minute movie, because if this movie is longer than 90 minutes, God help us.
I think that's probably like another thing that fans would probably be maybe annoyed about on some when they combine multiple games into one film. It's just a bit like, because they did that with Tomb Raider, right? Like they did like 2 Tomb Raiders or 3 Tomb Raiders in the most recent one, and it's just like just pick a game. Like the game is like 10 plus hours long at the very least. Just pick a game and condense it into a decent movie, because I feel like you can fit in all of those really important plot points with character development with this kind of sentimental value. Because for example, the first film, we don't even see Claire. Am I right? We see Chris and not even Leon. But we see that kind of story, and then the second movie is Claire going after her brother. And I feel like with this kind of amalgamation of the two, will that lose some of that character relationship that we kind of have to have, you know, empathy for? Like, we want to see that she's going to go and look for her brother for whatever reason that they got split up. But I feel like,
well, this one, it looks like
putting it into one movie,
they're together right away. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
seems
odd.
like she meets up with him like right from the get-go versus like that separation. Where in the second game, which was cool because you could play either her storyline or his storyline, so you could play either one. Which was kind of fascinating, at least in the remake. I think in the original game you could only play Claire's story. But yeah, now you have Jill Valentine's in this as well. You have, Leon Kennedy's in this. So like he's like the rookie cop that shows up and is like, oh, what's going on here? I'm going to save the day. So it's that's kind of reductive. I hope they kind of bring a little bit more into that character into the movie. You know, like I guess there's more to that character other than like the plucky young cop that shows up and is like, you know, like, I'm gonna prove myself and save the city, you know, randomly. Tom Hopper plays Wesker, which I think is from the first game, and I think he ends up betraying. He's like got a side mission or something. The first game's well, the first game's a little.
Killing it here.
The first game's a little. Listen, like if you're watching this,
And you haven't already known about these films.
I
We're
mean,
sorry.
you got to be a fan of the game. I don't know. I feel
No,
like
it's
if you're
true.
watching this movie, you're probably a fan of the games. I don't know why else you would. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Like, who is this? Who are like PJ? Like, who are they making this for? Are they making this for the? Because it's so close to the game, they're clearly making it for the fans of the game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're
Yeah.
making it for anybody else.
No.
I don't know if
This
it's
is
that
a
interesting enough for
family
people
movie
who
night.
aren't fans of the game to be interested in.
Yeah, true.
PJ's checked out ages ago.
PJ's not gonna watch this. PJ's
I don't
gonna
think
rewatch
he's
Shaun of the Dead.
listening to this
Drew.
conversation.
Yeah.
Even Hello Kitty beats out Star Wars.
No, no, it's impossible.
Go
What,
Hello Kitty.
franchises?
Yeah, Hello Kitty. And buddy, here's another one, buddy. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
Well, okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to hate on Winnie the Pooh.
And then
Can't
Star
hate on Winnie
Wars.
the Pooh.
And then
Okay.
Star
That's
Wars.
honey.
Okay.
Oh,
I
Pooh.
see.
That'll do. Oh, Eeyore.
Oh wow.
What did Nolan say? The reason, don't be sad for Eeyore because he's got a giant.
Donkey dick.
Of course, Nolan would say that. Of course,
Yeah.
Nolan. Yeah,
Yeah.
standard. But
Oh, gosh.
yeah, I feel like that's kind of the casting seems to have a lot of contention online as well. People are not happy with how everybody's been cast, and they're like, "Oh, it's all wrong."
Oh.
I don't know. I think give people a chance. I think I've seen the girl who plays Claire. What's her name? Kaya? Scodelario? Listen,
Yeah.
I'll probably butcher that surname. I'm sorry. I only remember her really from Skins as Effie, and she was fucking phenomenal. And now all of a sudden, like, she's like grown up and like in Pirates of the Caribbean and this, and I'm like, oh shit, that's gonna be fun.
Oh,
So there's a
Maze
really
Runner.
good-
That's where I recognize her
Yeah,
from.
she
She was
Maze
the lead
Runner
in
as
Maze
well.
Runner.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Hannah John Kamen. She was in Game of Thrones. She's been in Tomb Raider. Ant-Man and the Wasp was probably the most notable one that I've known her from. But I'm loving this.
Who
I
does
really
she
think
play
that the
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
She played
she was
the
the
villain.
villain. The villain with like superpowers. So she was in the white, almost white
Oh,
suit.
yeah.
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 Yeah, I loved it. I think it's interesting. I think it's diverse a little bit, and
Oh, she played
I
that
would give it
evil
a
chick in
chance.
Ready Player One, like the bad.
that's
girl.
right. Yeah. I think she plays bad pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that book.
Yeah, which is interesting because she's gonna be Jill Valentine. But yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I don't have much to
cast
say.
was-
It's like, I'm not going to watch it.
you're not gonna watch it, PJ. What would make you watch this film?
A better script.
Just a better everything, a rehaul.
I think if it was a new, I don't know. I think the problem like today, it's like everywhere I see now, like whether it's a movie or a TV show, it's a reboot, it's a reimagination of something or a continuation. Like we've got a Scream 5, we've got Halloween Kills. Like there's so many. It's
You know
like
why
we were
that
talking-
is because they're already controlled by the studios, so that they're going into their library and it's cheaper for them to do that. And then they can also sit in rooms and go, this made 300 million worldwide. We just have to change up this cast. We can go get this market. And
Yeah.
it's all done for numbers. I
Maria
remember
said
a line.
maybe if they put Disney princesses in Resident Evil, you'll watch it.
Ariel.
Yeah, she's
She's
not
just
wrong.
like
You got it.
He just
You
like,
might.
no.
You got something there. Like, why
Yeah.
don't they do that? Disney would never do that. Like, have
Can you
a
imagine?
Disney princess zombie movie, like they did with, those old. What were they?
Like
Those old
Pride and
romance-
Prejudice and
Pride
Zombies?
Prejudice and
Oh,
Zombies.
Oh
Zombies.
yes,
Zombies.
yeah.
Yeah,
Can
that.
you imagine, like, one of the sidekicks get bit, and then starts like going through the dwarfs one by one, and like getting slowly, and then
Sneezy.
Snow White find all the
Zombie-
dwarfs are
zombie
zombies.
dwarfs?
They're little short.
Terrifying.
Oh my God! Can you
Wow,
imagine?
that'd be scary.
You know what? Or Thumper from
Imagine
Bambi.
Sleepy-
Thumper from
Sleepy as a
Bambi
zombie.
goes. She's,
Dope.
I mean, I tell you, like
Oh,
Disney's
man.
got to get it. Got to get with it. Got to try something a little
Yeah.
different. But
True.
yeah,
Well, I
that would
think-
be interesting.
I think what I always found interesting, like in the comics, like I always knew about, like what we saw in What If, like zombie Avengers. So I always knew that. So when they finally brought that in, I was like, yes, like something different. Like I don't like zombies, but it's cool because it's like the same thing. Like it's just interesting to see these characters that you love suddenly become something that you don't love
Yeah.
or that you don't want to be like that way, and then you feel.
Wait,
for
are you
them.
describing movies or relationships?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, both apply.
I'll talk more about it on my TED Talk.
Yes, on the next TED Talk. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm in for. I like franchises and I like fandoms, you know. So I think I understand like movies need to make big block. The only reason they make blockbuster movies is because there's usually like a fandom behind something like this. Otherwise, it goes to a streaming service, and hopefully, it'll build a fandom from that. But I don't know. I guess when I want them to, if they're going to make a video game movie, like come at it from a different POV or do something new. I don't know. I don't know if I want the same story just retold.
Through this or as zombies? Like you're talking Resident Evil or zombies in general?
Well, I'm talking about Resident Evil. I do think zombies are a little overplayed right now and in general. So and again, Resident Evil is one of like the first zombie video games. So it does have clout to play in this arena, zombie arena. So it's not like, hey, by the way, we're doing zombies randomly. You know, like we're Mario doing zombies. Like this is definitely more like Resident Evil has the wherewithal and the history to play in the zombie realm, right? And their zombies aren't necessarily like they have zombies that are like the slow walker, like normal things, and then they have zombies that are like really like crazy mutated, like fucked up things with eyeballs and long time, like really crazy stuff. So they kind of break the normal trope of what you would think about as zombies. So
so Matt says that you got to watch Italian zombie movies.
Oh, okay.
Did you know about this?
No.
Yeah, I mean they run around and they're like, allora, you know, cappuccino, hey, and then they bite you.
What are you doing breaking the pasta?
Yes.
Why are they better? Like why is an Italian zombie movie better?
Everything.
I have not heard that about Italian movies. I've heard that about Korean zombie movies though. Like
the Korean film industry is cool. They got
Korean
some
film
great
industry
shit.
is great.
Yeah.
But Italian zombies, I'll have to check that out.
We'll have to report back.
Yes.
But top 15 Italian zombie horror movies. Like they're cranking them out over there.
Oh my god.
Since like
they might
since when?
be
Like the
I don't know.
90s?
I don't like horror films though. I'm terrified. I'm a big baby.
Hold on. Yeah, I don't like horror, but I'm curious.
I'll watch Shaun of the Dead because it's hilarious. But like other than that, I'm like, no. Like I've never seen Dawn of the Dead. I don't watch Walking Dead. I don't watch anything horror or scary because I'm big babies.
Wait, 28 days later.
Matt says they're beyond messed up and gory.
Oh,
okay,
no.
Matt.
Matt,
suggest one we got to look at. You got to because Halloween's coming, right? All the reason to watch some really fucked up Halloweeny movie.
Is Monica Bellucci in one of these zombie movies? Because then I might watch it.
Did you ever see her in that movie called Irreversible?
No.
You have to. I took a shower after that movie, not because I was all hot and bothered, because it was like, it's pretty gnarly. That movie.
Really gnarly. Okay. I don't know.
You've never seen Irreversible? The whole movie is backwards. Oh my god, buddy!
No. Like,
go watch it.
Like
Do not have your child. Do not have your child there. You will scar the child.
Good to know.
It's a very, very controversial movie. It's called Irreversible. Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I love it. It's so different. It's so weird. It's so violent. It's so gross.
I've seen this.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
I've seen this.
What? Really?
Okay,
2002 film? Is that right? Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this. Okay.
2002 French psychological thriller? Is this the right film?
Pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty rough.
Got it.
Stephanie remembers the movie now. She says, "Oh, I think differently of PJ now."
Yeah. Well.
I forgot about that.
She actually tried to erase it from her memory.
Yeah, it's been blocked by the good side of her to keep her wholesome.
Oh gosh. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I
Look at her. She's already. All the disturbed memories are coming back. Yeah, I've never been able. I couldn't watch it twice. It's a movie I could not watch twice. The only other movie I felt that freaked out about, and it wasn't because it was violent. I was just, oh my god, I can never have children. Was the movie Kids? Did you ever see the movie Kids?
No,
No.
And then I watched it at the
Refuse to
Angelica
Is it a
in
horror
New
film?
York, and then left the theater and walked through Washington Square, where parts of the movie takes place. That was just a weird moment afterwards. That movie really makes you hate humanity.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I love how I look up kids
Yeah.
and then I go to images and it's kids.
1995. No, Stephanie. No.
No.
1995, directed by Larry Clark. It's an indie film, and it's an hour and 31
feel
minutes.
like
There
I
you go.
remember
I've never
this.
seen that before either. So,
Yeah.
crazy.
I
I
haven't
have
seen
no
this, but I know
desire
about it.
to watch
Yeah.
Kids. That
Yeah.
it didn't look like a good movie. Like it just
Not
looked
really.
controversial.
If you're into independent films and you like things made really raw and you just like that sort of verite cinema, it's really well. And that director, I can't remember his name now, was pretty controversial. And it's just you just feel awful after watching that movie.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I want to feel awful after watching something.
Well, yeah, give it to the director to make you feel something.
Yeah.
Requiem for a
we'll see.
Dream. There's another one.
Oh,
Requiem for a Dream.
yes.
I actually like that movie, but yeah, that was a rough movie.
Yeah, that's there's I guess the difference between like Kids and Requiem for a Dream is like at least Requiem for a Dream was shot like it's beautiful, like it's well made, like there's art there, like where like Kids just feels like I'm gonna make these people feel just gross, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
raw and gritty and you're like, I filmed this with like a Super 8 camera, and you're like, what is going on right now? I don't know.
you
I
gotta
just
like
feel like yeah, you have to like that stuff. I don't know. I guess I prefer my stuff to look, if it's going to be gnarly, it needs to look great. Like it needs to feel artful, like purposeful, I guess. I don't know.
I don't like it though when they turn violence into art. What was the movie we watched recently? And it's extremely violent, but they make it very very artful to cover it up. And I was just like, oh, this is still an awfully violent movie.
Kind of like Clockwork Orange. Like that's a very
Kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. But there was one I
Yeah.
just saw. It was really violent. Is it Karen? Is it that movie Karen or
Oh,
whatever
Carrie?
that one?
No.
No, I can't remember. It's a new film that's out recently.
Oh, somebody did ask in the chat if they were going to, I think something about Scream 5. If we would like go and see that or watch that or something. I actually did see the trailer for that, and I'm really interested in that. Jamie Lee Curtis's character is obviously coming back and doing like a final kind of like he's back. Ba, ba, ba.
No, that's not Scream. That's
That's
Halloween.
Halloween.
Is that
That's
Halloween? Oh,
Halloween
apologies.
Kills.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Scream. Oh, sorry. I also saw that is all over influencer media right now. Like, did they have some event?
Well,
Apologies.
Probably.
But I will be watching Halloween on that note.
what?
Jamie Lee Curtis character. Unreal.
it's okay.
Yeah, so yeah, Halloween is back, Scream is back.
But they just
as
dropped the
Scream, it's Scream.
Oh, I
it's-
see. Apologies. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Yeah.
See, I don't
Yeah,
watch horror
Scream.
movies.
It's
Can you tell?
someone trolled me on Twitter, like it's not Scream 5. It's not called, and I was like, I realize it's not called Scream 5, but it is the 5th Scream in the series. And if I just said Scream, then it might have been confused with the original
Yeah,
Scream, which
true.
is called Scream. And it actually is a sequel. Like it's like it takes place because the characters are, like
Yeah,
the old
Courtney
characters are in
Cox
this.
and David Arquette are
David
coming
Arquette.
back for this.
Nev Campbell, yeah, they're all back. So
Canadian.
That's kind of Canadian.
Some granddad took his wife to see Clockwork Orange, and she walked out. She thought it was about watches.
Oh no!
Oh no!
No!
Yeah. Listen, you don't watch Clockwork Orange unless you should know what you're getting into. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you'll
Marisa
be
did,
like,
and she was so mad. Like she didn't like that at all.
no,
I
yeah,
wasn't
that
with
is.
me. I loved Clockwork Orange.
It's a good movie, but yeah, it's
It's a hard one to watch if you're not
It
like
is.
prepared. You're like, what the fuck?
Don't watch Irreversible then.
no.
Maybe don't watch that then. You know that movie I just recommended? Just grab
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, I guess that just to tie it back to Resident Evil, like,
Oh, sure.
what if Resident Evil, like, someone came at Resident Evil with that idea, like, with a more, like, an interesting idea. I don't know. You see what I'm getting at? Like, what if it came at it with like more of a Clockwork Orange type vibe, or like I don't know. I guess I
Yeah.
want
If
that
you had a
story.
big name and you were a big director or something, or a big actor, you could get through it. But they're not gonna. They're not going to switch with paying them.
Right. They're unwilling to take that kind of risk with a franchise.
Nope,
Like
they won't.
it's just that's where we are now. You know, it has to be by the books, tell the story that's in the games because that's what fans want. You know, it's like okay, sure.
I think what they did with the most recent game, I think, is pretty interesting. It was, to me, like, I mean, clearly I'm not a big fan, so I don't know a lot about what I'm talking about. But visually, to me, like, that seemed really interesting. And the fact that I've known about, you know, what other themes were for the game, like, and what it was about, like, that just seems interesting. So I feel like, if anything, if they were to do a movie, they need to do something like that, where it's just, whether it's in the future, in the past, whatever, like, the dawn of time, like, who knows? But, like, I think they need something like that to kind of, like, something new, something fresh. And maybe even a little bit psychologically, like, scary, not necessarily fully relying on zombies, but, like...
Yeah. Or, like, it'd be interesting if, like, they called this movie, like, I don't know, you know, X movie or something. Who knows what they call it? But you watch this whole movie and you don't realize it's a Resident Evil movie until, like, the last shot. You know, where you see like the Umbrella logo or something. You know, like surprise me, like do something where I don't know what to expect, or like kind of like what was that, the Cloverfield series? You know, when you're watching.
Oh
like,
yes, yeah.
Like what was the one with John Goodman?
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Unreal.
Like you go in, you watch that whole movie and you're like, this isn't a Cloverfield movie until like the last 5 minutes of the film. You're like, oh, okay, this actually ties into the larger kind of story.
Yeah.
But it's such a different movie. It's a different type of film.
Yes.
But it ties into the world and it builds the world out even more. Like do something. Give me something like that. Like Stark Evil VAT Prometheus is an interesting example, although somewhat flawed. Beautiful film, where they took like the idea of like, okay, how do we do something different with the Aliens franchise? How do we tell a different type of story? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do think though, like, I mean, like I say, there are fans that are totally for this kind of film from Resident Evil because it is this kind of like, I guess the words that were used online were camp horror or camp zombies, you know, which is just a feel, like it's just like a vibe, you know, that B movie vibe. And I kind of get it because the games are kind of like that. And I think that really does hold true to the games. And a lot of people are like, this is exactly what we need. This is exactly what we were looking for. But I would agree. I think that it probably would appeal more to a larger audience if they came at it with some sort of interesting, just a really interesting zombie movie that they don't actually even have to call Resident Evil, that ends up with something to do with Umbrella. You know what I mean? Like you see the Umbrella symbol and you're like, wait a minute, is this Resident Evil? Like something to get people excited about it. I would agree with that kind of take. I think Maria said this right. This is definitely a fan service film that people will enjoy the Easter eggs, I guess, if they're a fan of the films or fan of the games. They're going to enjoy the Easter eggs of the mansion and of all the original characters, of the locations of Raccoon City and stuff. So I'm on the fence. Yes and no. I think it would do better for a larger audience if it was more artistically done, like you said.
We're talking about
That's
zombies
just me. I'm talking about the zombies. Them zams.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm of the, like, come on. There's so many great games out there. Let's move on to another franchise. I'm done. Next.
Yeah.
I want there to be a great video game movie franchise. It doesn't exist. I don't know. Or and I'm even hesitant to. I'm somewhat excited for the Uncharted franchise because it's going to be a different story. Like a different time, a younger Drake. They're doing something different. It's not like a retelling of Uncharted 1, where I'm almost less excited, although I am still excited for the Last of Us series. I think the production's going to be insane. HBO, right? Like it's just going to it's going to be acted great, but it's telling the same story. They've already leaked that it's telling the exact same story as the video game. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I got that story.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence. I just want there to be something interesting in this video game world in a different medium.
On your point, I totally agree with you with in relation to putting video games into media, like TV series, whether it's the HBO TV series The Last of Us or the movies like this one. I think that it is better to tell a completely different story. Like, you have the world, you have all of the settings, you have all of the context to make a good story. And make a good story including 2 or 3 different new characters that will make people so interested that they want to play the games and go and find that out. Because I think at times you'll do a disservice to fans of trying to condense, you know, a 23-hour game or whatever into a 2-hour movie, or 2 games together. I'm all for just explore a different story. You already have the basis. I understand where they're coming from, because they're like, well, not everybody plays video games. Not everybody's privileged enough to play the video games and see the stories and have the same effect with those characters. Get you, totally on your page. But I'm definitely leaning towards just explore something else and make people want to go looking for the video game story.
All right, so we can all agree it sucks. We're going to move on. And we're going to go on.
Yeah, we're done now.
All right, let's close this down. Let's get on to the next one.
That's fair, DJ. Fair. Alrighty. Well, if it's something you guys want us to see or review next week, I guess put it in the comments and let us know. Or at Drew on Twitter.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, just
at Drew.
Tell me just tell me I suck over and over.
That's what I do.
Yep, that's what PJ does. It really just makes me feel great.
I'm here to make him feel good. That's what I do.
Is that a butter knife? Hello.
No.
Oh, goodness. Oh, hi. Hi.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Thank you for tuning into those 6 people who thumb down. Go fuck yourself. All right. Goodbye, everybody. See you later.
Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.